Hey my poor little bookworms, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you've been having the most whimsical week ever. So guys, news is out, I moved again. No, I'm just kidding. For the summer, for 2 months, I am back in my childhood room. I wouldn't really count this as my childhood room. I mean, like, I'm counting it as because I used to live in Moldova for 2 years. That was my years of 5th grade and 6th grade. Right. So it's back in my childhood room from 5th grade and 6th grade. But my other rooms in the past from my childhood, we, moved, sold them, stuff like that. I've moved around too much to count them as of my official childhood room. But this was my kind of like preteen, but I'm going to call it childhood because it's the only room that I still have that can count as my childhood. So I basically still have a house in Moldova. And now I am back in Moldova. This is my first time back in 3 years, which feels insane because a lot of things have changed. And it's my first time back in 3 years, which the last time I was here, I was living here. I look like a child, but that's fine because I just slept. So basically my travel days started Thursday, ended Friday. I was awake for probably around 48 hours. And after my flights, I still had to socialize. I just realized this morning when I went to film, right, I forgot my tripod. I remember I was like, I'm going to bring it, and then I forgot it. The funny thing is, I wasn't even filming a single vlog. Actually, I was filming a crochet vlog that I haven't finished, and it's probably going to come out at the end of the summer. This summer, you're going to have to bear with me with the camera angles and what's going to go on with that. I also happened to travel with the Amish when I was on my flight from Vienna to Moldova. I traveled with the Amish. That was pretty cool. They were like a few rows behind me. Pretty cool. Basically, I was awake for 48 hours. I took like each like 1 hour naps, like semi 1 hour naps on the flights, on like 2 of my flights. They were very short. And then I went to bed and I slept for 16 hours. I actually took a nap. Like, I remember I was like on my phone and my mom was like, come on, get off your phone, go like shower or something. Like, while my mom was unpacking, I don't know how she had that. She had the power to do that. So then I like closed my eyes on my bed and then I fell asleep for like, I think like 30 minutes. So my mom realized, yo, what is she doing? So then I went, took a shower, came back, scrolled my phone for a bit, slept. I'm also not sleeping in my childhood room because this mattress feels like bricks. Genuinely. And now I'm sleeping in my mom's and dad's room, which my mom isn't sleeping there. It's this whole thing. My mom loves, so I basically have, moral of the story, I have like a king size bed to myself. Hello, New York! Okay, so this vlog is going to be very chatty because I forget to update you. It is the next day. We decided, me, my mom, and like my aunt and other people, we decided we were going to go to this thing where it's like, you can see lily pads and stuff. I'll just insert pictures. It is currently 7:04. Ooh! And I've spent majority of today like scrolling. Well, after that entire extravaganza, and I came home at like 3 o'clock, and we've been out since 10 o'clock, so it's been a while. Anyway, I came home and I just scrolled a bunch. Why am I saying Jesus? I only brought with me 4 books. And I decided I'm going to hopefully read those 4 books in 1 month and give them to my mom to bring them back to Canada because she's going back to Canada in a month, so I should finish them. On the plane right here is I started The Correspondent. It's a book written in purely just like letters and emails. It's just a bunch of different letters, but it revolves around the character of, I don't know what her name is, but she's like 73 and she's this old woman, and a lot of the letters are hers, and you just like follow her and like you find out about her in the past and stuff like that and what she was. And I've heard great things about it. People that I trust with book recommendations, like Destiny Sidwell and stuff, have really loved it, especially because there's a lot of talk about, you know, your life and stuff like that. Can I just say it's not really interesting for me? Maybe it's just because it's the environment I'm reading it in and I'm not in the mood for it. I don't know, because I picked it up and I was like, I feel like I'm going to really like this. I heard a lot of people said it got them out of their reading slump, which I want to say I got out of mine. I'm not enjoying it. I'm 46% through, and hopefully I'm just praying that I get through it. Hi guys, I promise it's not dark outside. I just like pulled my curtains, but as you saw yesterday, I was unraveling my crochet cardigan that failed, and I crocheted it 3 years ago back when I lived here, and I decided to undo it and remake it. Now I think I'm gonna make a cardigan, an actual cardigan out of it, because I've never made a cardigan before. I've never crocheted one, so I think it would be really cool. I have made sweaters. Have I? Yes, I have. I've obviously made sweaters, but I haven't made like an actual cardigan. So I basically unraveled my entire project, and these are my 3 yarn balls. It's all scrap yarn, and there's different textures and colors, but usually whenever I have a crochet project that has more than, is like very textured and very colorful, I get the most compliments on it, so it doesn't matter. What up, guys? So I just made cookies, and I was gonna film that, but then I needed my phone for the recipe, and I was just too overstimulated to do that. But also, like, can I just say, so, like, I did, like, a 14-minute rant, but I deleted that clip because I honestly, that was too much, I feel like, for you guys. So, I wanted to say, guys, some of the food here just, like, tastes very, very drastically different, which, like, obviously, different country, like, in a different country, a food tastes different, but especially, like, across the world, basically halfway across the world, that's also pretty, like, different. And I put butter in my cookies, because obviously it's cookies, you need butter in there. And butter here smells and tastes kind of weird, and I've been told, oh, it's just because it's more natural. And I keep, like, I lived here for 2 years, and I got used to things easily, because that was my only option. Now, I can't get used to it. The butter, like, I put butter in my cookies, and now I bake them. It smells rancid in the kitchen. It smells horrible. I am so sorry. No hate. Yeah, I kind of sound like entitled or whatever, but it's just true. Like, if you smell this, it does smell really weird, and it's not a pleasant smell. And I've been told, oh, like, everything, like, a lot of things in Moldova taste different, like fruits and stuff like that. Like, the fruits here, they're, like, most of them are with seeds instead of seedless, and like, people keep telling me, oh, it's just because, like, they put chemicals in them in, like, Canada, because that's why they're seedless. So you should like, appreciate that it's, like, natural and stuff like that. I would rather eat chemicals than bugs. I'm taking that over any day. Also, with that being said, I saw, when I woke up today, which today was the first time, today's Tuesday, it's been 4 days, we've had, like, basically 4 days in Moldova, and not counting the day we arrived, but today was the first day I woke up at 6 a.m., which is pat on the back for me, and I saw a worm on the side of my bed. It was, like, this small, okay? It was pretty small, but it's, like, it looked like a maggot. I hate maggots so much. And now I have, like, a fear that, like, I've heard horror stories about, like, a fly landing in someone's ear and, like, laying an egg and then maggots being at that person's ear. I don't know how true that is, but I believe that. It was disgusting. So I flung it off the bed. I'm pretty sure it was dead. I flung it off the bed. I don't know where it is right now. Not my problem. But I've seen a lot of bugs so far. I see about, like, actually, there's always, like, little tiny ants crawling around my house, but, like, I genuinely don't care enough to kill them. It's only, like, the bigger bugs. The small ants, I'll let them live. Because, I'm sorry, I'm not being the best person by killing bugs. I know that. Also, guys, the book I'm reading, Home Again by Chris and Hannah. I'm also reading The Correspondent. Safe to say, I was about to DNF it, but I was like, I'm too far into this. I don't have that much left. I'm hopefully going to finish it. I would love to finish it today. Definitely not. Maybe tomorrow. Who knows? Home Again by Chris and Hannah. Really thoroughly enjoying it. Well, so far, I'm on page about 100, I want to say. Yeah. So it's basically follows this girl, Madeline, and she's a single mother, and her daughter, Lena, I want to say. And her daughter, Lena, is like, so Madeline, she's like a heart surgeon, and she's amazing at what she does. She's also a single mom with her child, Lena. And Lena is like a rebellious teenager, but she wants to find out who her father is because her father left her. And so she wants to find out who he is, but Madeline won't tell her. And then we also follow this guy, his name's Angel, and he is a famous celebrity. He is a famous actor, but he spent, like, majority of his life just, like, drinking, smoking, you know, hanging around with chicks all the time, and he's never had a pretty stable life. But he gets faced with the reality that he needs to get a heart transplant or else he is gonna die. So, if you see Madeline, a heart surgeon, and Angel, whatever his name, Angel, I'm pretty sure that's his name. He needs a heart transplant. Do you see where I'm getting with this? And once I read the synopsis, I was like, wait a minute. I see what you did there, Kristen, Hannah. disoriented. Hey guys. Why do I look like that? So, if I sound weird, that's just because I just took a nap. I don't like this angle. Guys, I came back from my grandma's house. Today is Sunday, and yeah, I spent a lot of time babysitting there. I didn't film a lot. I read a lot. I finished The Correspondent. I'm almost done Home Again by Chris and Hannah. But I would like to say my thoughts on The Correspondent. It was alright. It wasn't, at one point I debated DNFing it because I was really bored. I've read better books that, talked about life. Because this book is, because it's written in letter format, it's just a bunch of letters. Following this grandma, I had higher expectations because people kept hyping it up. But in the end, I just didn't find it that interesting and a little slow for the time, the pacing. And I don't really know what to rate it. I didn't really, know what to rate it because I wanted to DNF it, but the ending was really sweet. So I think I, landed on a 2 stars, which is, it was alright. But I went to the mall with my aunt and my mom, and I have a haul. This top, which my mom bought for me, it's so cute. Right now it's, kind of, wrinkled, but it's so freaking cute. It's, polka dots, and it's, cinched in certain places. And it's soft. It's extremely soft. I also went to the bookstore. There were 3 different bookstores in the mall. One of them was a bookstore cafe-ish style. Another was a full book, it was a bookstore, except it's also on the more expensive side. But either way, in Europe, so in Europe they have different covers. And also I noticed their books are stiffer, so it's easier to give them cracks, crack the spines. Majority of the books here are cheaper, but I did buy 2 books. Actually, I went to check out, and my mom and my aunt were there. So my aunt was like, you know what, I'm paying for those. Thank God. It also it was not expensive at all. These 2 books equals out to about a paperback book in Canada. So I got Pollyanna by Eleanor H. Porter, White Nights by Fyodor Dostoevsky. Hi guys. So to tie up this entire this entire vlog, I thought I should give you my final thoughts on Home Again by Chris and Hannah. I just finished this 10 minutes ago, and I'm having a hard time trying to piece my thoughts together because I feel I don't know why I'm not being as well spoken as I usually am. I've been told I'm well spoken today. Don't know what's going on. Overall, I think I'm gonna rate this a 3.75. Which I'm kind of a harsh rater, keep that in mind. This book is really good if it's 3.75. Every single time I picked it up, I was thoroughly immersed and interested in it, and it actually made me want to pick up and read it, which right now, how I'm currently feeling with reading, I'm kind of getting out of a book slump. Like, it's just, I've been having a complicated relationship with my reading, okay, guys? Okay, so whenever I pick up a book and I'm actually really interested to read it and I really want to read it, that's a good sign. And I love finding good books. This was a right book, right moment, because I really needed this right now as a reminder and to just give me hope and motivate me. I also annotated it, which this is how it's currently looking for that. How it's looking. I love the way it explored so many different challenges in life and so many different topics. And you would see it wasn't broken up into different POVs by chapters. No, it was just sometimes there would be a page break and you would be following a different character. It was written in third person, but you would kind of be following a different character. But overall, like, all of these characters tied together. And I loved reading about the mother and daughter dynamics, and Lena, you also learn about Lena, her daughter, Madeline's daughter, her and how teenagehood and her navigating teenagehood, and also Angel navigating like his career and his life decisions. And there's so many different things. I just don't want to say too much where it will spoil it. And there's so many topics talked about, and I loved it. I think this is kind of a romance, but more like women's fiction with a subplot of romance. Now, I think Chris and Hannah's books that I've read are the ones that I've read, which is Four Winds, The Nightingale, and Firefly Lane. Those ones are a little bit newer. This one was written in 1996, and you can definitely tell there's a bit of a difference. In this one, they talk a lot about religion, which I found pretty interesting, because also I remember this one scene, they said, it doesn't matter if you believe in God, in Buddha, in Allah, Mother Nature, like, no matter what you believe in, you have to have faith in something, even if it's yourself, or else your entire life is basically just really messy and all over the place. And I found that interesting, especially as someone that's an ex-Christian and an atheist. I found that interesting. The only thing that I really found different, or that I didn't really like about it, I don't know, I can't just put my finger on it. It was also just because sometimes the things that said didn't really age well, because they just felt they were stereotyping some women, which some might read this and be like, Dennisa, what are you talking about? But also, I think some people will just call me, and I think some people will call me overly woke. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what other videos you want to see, and I mean it. Comment them down below. Yes. Yes! Yes. What am I saying? I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have the most whimsical week ever. If you're feeling overwhelmed or overstimulated today, go outside, touch some grass, and I'll be here when you get back.